Have you ever saw one of your friends or people around you always seem so nervous every single time that they couldn't even look you in the eye? Or there's this one person, let's say if she's pretty, multi-talented, smart, and then she told you that, well, I'm actually always lack of confidence and feel bad for myself. And then deep down in your heart, you think that, oh my god, this girl is an ultimate attention seeker. She must be more grateful for the life she had. Then, Miss Girl, from now on, I told you that please eliminate such thoughts from your heart and mind. I told you now, it means that people have anxiety. It doesn't matter whether people are smart, intelligent, and physically perfect. Every people in this world experience different kind of anxiety, and we have no rights to judge them. Good evening, everyone. My name is Afina Prahadini, and thank you for allowing me to deliver this speech today about anxiety, especially in teenagers, because many people and even educators see anxiety in teenagers is just a joke and take that issue as a piece of cake. Well, maybe this is because many people still not know what anxiety is. So allow me to explain. So anxiety is basically a mental disorder that causes nervousness, fear, apprehension, and worrying in the people affected by it. These disorders affect how they feel and behave. And anxiety is a normal part of growing up, but for most children, it's only a phase, temporary and usually harmless. But if they have developed an anxiety disorder, they will experience fear, nervousness, and shyness for most of their lives. Anxiety disorders affect 1 out of every 8 teenagers in the world. Most of the time, these young men and women also struggle with other disorders like depression, eating disorders, and attention deficit hyperactive disorders, among others. Along with the anxiety is also often social anxiety, a branch of the general disorder. This produces extreme fear, panic attacks, sweating, and nervousness in the victims when exposed to social events. They will most often be extremely shy and awkward looking. Maybe when you often saw people doing this. That means they have anxiety. But that's because they are actually absolutely terrified. Anxiety also affects teenagers in school. It will affect them in their potential and often grades will drop. Motivation will be gone and they will skip school as often as they could. In our school, one thing is overlooked much too often is mental disorders such as this. They are not treated properly and teens with these problems are blamed for their bad grades. If we don't make a kid with a broken leg run and pee, then why we make a teen with social anxiety present an oral speech? I believe that we should first have proper diagnosis and treatment in the school of such disorders before we force children to do something that they are physically not able to do. If any of you suffer from anxiety disorders of any kind, I suggest that you take the right steps to treat it. It's not always curable, but panic disorders, nervousness, and nervous tics could diminish significantly. You might wonder what I mean when I say nervousness tic. They are spasms of muscle caused by nervousness. For example, eye twitching like this, lip biting, shivering, like when people do this, and irregular breathing patterns are all nervous tics. As we can see, anxiety is a huge problem. It affects 8% of today's youth, but studies shows that only 18 of them have been diagnosed and treated. Most schools have counselors and nurses who can help diagnose it, and I believe that is something our schools should do. It's time to revolutionize the way Alvaro Obregón looks at mental disorders. They are not a choice, and they are as serious as any other illness. Telling someone with anxiety to relax or someone with depression to cheer up is like asking a paralytic to just walk. It is physically and mentally impossible to do. Finally, I'd like to end by explaining what panic attack is. During a panic attack, the victim feels overwhelmed by an intense fear, a sense of impending doom, the fear he's going crazy, or sensation of unreality. Physically, it will be accompanied by shortness of breath, sweating, choking, chest pain, nausea, dizziness, and numbness or tingling. During an attack, some teens may feel they are dying or can't breathe. Following a panic attack, many teenagers worry that they will have another attack and try to avoid situations that may trigger them. Because of this fear, they may begin to avoid normal activities and routines. So I hope this speech has helped you to think about the consequences of anxiety and also how to be more respectful and flexible to people dealing with it. Forcing someone with anxiety into situations that make them uncomfortable is not treatment. Please keep this in mind. It is torture for that person. So I hope that this speech will open your mind. In conclusion, anxiety is something that we should all keep in mind and look out for. Let's revolutionize the disrespect people with mental health disorders. Thank you for listening.